guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Battle Series, the School of Hard Knocks. So throughout this episode, like every other, we'll be jumping on to the Pokemon Global Link Battle Spot ladder, playing under the Championship Battle rules, which are the equivalent rule set of the VGC 2019 season. So yes, you have heard it right, that the rules for the new season have been released, surprisingly, but we have got them, which is really nice. A nice change that we're starting from September, working right through, but there is a twist on it. As we all know, if you haven't seen the rules document, I will link it in the description below for you guys that aren't aware of it and things like that. But we've got 3 segments. The first segment is going to be the Sun series, which runs up to the new year, so it's going to be very exciting. I do like this format. This format is obviously restricted Pokemon with no Z moves and no Megas. So yeah, it makes it kind of nice. It refers back to kind of like the last format, really similar to it was 2010. That was the year I got my very first invite, so a format I hold close to my heart. So it's kind of similar to that in a few ways, but very different in a lot of others, because you've got a lot more Pokemon now to play around with. So, as I say, we've had a little break on the channel. We are back. I'm going to be kicking off with quite a standard-ish team. It's going to be a lot of fun to play with though. Xerneas, Smeargle, Groudon, Incineroar, Bronzong and Tapu Koko. We've got the Xerneas. We all know what Xerneas does, don't we? With a Geomancy boost up and just clean out our opponents. And then we've got a Trick Room switch with Bronzong and a slow, bulky Groudon, so we can use that. Tapu Koko there to help us pivot, and then you've got the 2 support Pokemon, with one with Intimidate, which is the Incineroar. The Fire and Dark typing is really nice in this format as well. And then we've got Smeargle, who's Xerneas' old partner in crime, coming back for some more action in 2019. So we're going to play this team for a couple of weeks, and then we'll move on. But as I said, there's a little bit of a standard team to kind of kick us off, but I know you guys want to see standard stuff. This is all information that I got from you guys last season, so thank you for that. So hopefully it'll be a lot of fun, and if I can put more content out, if I can do a video every day, I will try my best to do that. If not, it will just be the old structure where it was Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, but I'm going to try and see if I can manage doing every day of the week. That would be cool, because at the moment I won't be streaming, unfortunately, because I have got a new PC on the way. So I'm getting rid of my Mac. I won't be getting rid of it, but I will be getting rid of it. Getting a new PC, so I want to wait till I do streams doing that. But we have our first opponent of the day and of the season, which is kind of exciting. So playing 29 CFS, which sounds like a sofa supplier in the UK, but I'm sure they're not. They may be as well. So we've got Tapu Bulu, Florges, Lunala, Tapu Koko, Kyogre and Salazzle. So very fast fake out from the Salazzle. You've got to worry here a little bit about the Scarfed Kyogre. Lunala's going to threaten our Bronzong setting up slightly, so we need to worry about that. But I think we're going to be alright leading. Like the beauty about having slow Groudon is that we can lead with it if we want to you know, it kind of puts off my opponent leading with the Kyogre, and it gives us that little bit of room to set up. But I don't know if I want to maybe just keep it in the back this time as well, because if we can get the Trick Room set up, it's kind of nice to be able to just bring in and disrupt the weather from our point of view. Xerneas looks alright here. There's not too much to threaten it, but I'm sure my opponent has things outside of the Salazzle. So let's get into this. Right, we're going to go, I think we got Trick Room mode here. Let's go Incineroar, Bronzong, Groudon, and why not throw on Xerneas just for the funs, because Xerneas is so powerful, it can kind of run through games itself. So it's the thing, we've got the support there with the Incineroar as well if we want to, but our main mod in this game, I feel like it's going to be the getting the Trick Room up, getting the gravity up with Bronzong, and then just kind of running through our opponents with Groudon a little bit. So we'll see what we have to do. You know, I have to worry about the Tapu Bulu as well, because it does threaten Groudon. It's kind of strange, because 2016 rules, Groudon was a fire ground type, and now it's just a ground type, so you have to get your head around that a little bit. But we see my opponent lead off with Tapu Koko and the Lunala. Gotta expect maybe Taunt on the Tapu Koko, so that's something that could shut Bronzong down. But we can't fake out the Lunala because it is part Ghost, but it is threatened pretty heavily from a knockoff from our Incineroar. So I'm gonna go straight for that. And do we set it up? Oh do we try and set it up, or do we bring in... We're going to take a ghost type attack regardless. I'm kind of confident that Bronzong can probably take this, but at the same time, if we lose our Trick Room mode, we kind of lose a lot of momentum in the whole battle. I'm going to switch in Xerneas here. Because out of everything we've got and our 4 Pokemon that we've brought, it's the one thing that I can kind of let go down without really sacrificing too much. So we'll get it in there. We're going to see the Fairy Aura come up. Tapu Koko, we're going to take Incineroar into the sky. And we're going to see that Moongeist beam from the Lunala. Wonder if it's Specs, because that's what a lot of people kind of tending to kind of lean towards at the minute, but we are running a very bulky Xerneas, so that does help us out a lot. I think I'm just going to go for the knockoff again and just go for a Geomancy as well. We've got like the room to do it, so I don't see why we should change up anything. Knockoff should take down the Lunala unless it's sashed, but I don't think it will be. We're going to actually outspeed the Lunala, get the Geomancy off. Proc that Power Herb, so it's a 1-turn charge for you guys out there that don't know. Without the Power Herb, it is a 2-turn charge up move, so we get the boosts 2+ across the board, special attack, special defense, and speed. We get the knockoff into that Lunala. It looks like it's going for a roll. Could scupper our plans a little bit. We knock off the Iapa Berry, and it is going for that roll into Bronzong, and Groudon going to make an appearance. So we lose our boosts, but that's kind of to be expected a little bit. The Lunala now is pretty heavily threatened, but we've got to worry about the Kyogre in the back the whole time. I really hope this match hasn't. No, it hasn't. I thought the Wi-Fi went for a minute. So I don't see why we don't just knock off again. The problem is, do I want to just keep Groudon in? I really don't feel like I want to keep it in at the moment. Like I said earlier in the match, the one expendable thing that we've got on the board at the minute is the Xerneas, so I'm just going to switch it back out. Once you get rid of the Lunala, Bronzong's life becomes so much easier to get the Trick Room, get the Gravity up, start putting things to sleep, because the Electric Train's not going to last forever, and it just means we can get Groudon like in a position where we're going to be able to start like cleaning up a little bit. So we're going to see another Sky Drop come out from this Koko, another Beamgeist from this Lunala. I'd imagine it does outspeed Xerneas, this is the thing, but like I'm pretty happy sacrificing Xerneas here just to get rid of this Lunala, because we will get Sky Dropped. Just going to Dazzle. I'm not going to do anything else with Xerneas. If we can get some damage onto the Koko right now, that's going to be nice. I mean, if we outspeed the Lunala, I don't expect the Dazzle to actually be... Well, it might be enough. It depends how it's trained. It seems pretty bulky though, so... And it's a weird format as well. Like, without Z moves, it's such a weird transition into like this format. It's like you want that big nuke, but you just don't have it anymore. So it's a lot more based around board positioning, status boosting, and things like that, which is really good and what Pokemon used to be all about. So that's like something I kind of like personally, but I know a lot of people aren't too fond of it as well. Tapu Koko revealing that it's actually Life Orb there, so this Dazzling Gleam might pick up the KO. Oh, it's not quite enough. Yeah, but we do still outspeed the Lunala. We get the knockoff, so that is all good. Okay, yeah. And on another note as well, because we haven't got streams and things coming out, the guides that I did last season, at the start of last season, went down very well, so I will be doing a series of guides, and I will be doing them through Sun Series, through whatever the next one is, Moon or whatever, and then Ultra, whatever. So the 3 series, I'll do 3 sets of guides for Pokemon. So in this series, we'll be starting with, I think Kyogre's the first one. I'm going to do all the restricted Pokemon. So I will work through each and every one of them, and we can get a good gist of how they're being used and what options you've got to use them as well. Right. Kyogre coming in, so I think the first thing we want to do is just knock off this Kyogre and get in our Groudon. Get rid of this Rain. Groudon that we've got and that we're running in this team is bulky enough to take multiple big attacks from Kyogre, and still kind of kick around. We've got the berry on it, so we can take a couple, like 3 origin pulses, which is really nice. So it's like a 4-hit kill on Sun. There's Water Spout coming out. It's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to be Scarf Kyogre. Should proc the berry on Incineroar, which it does. Hopefully Koko, like, nah, we will take an attack from Koko. Because for a wild charge it's into the Incineroar. It's -1, so there's no worry about us being taken down there. We are going to be able to get the knockoff. Koko going down to the recoil damage. Knockoff going to get rid of the Scarf, what's presumably on the Kyogre, which it does. Okay, so my opponent's down to his last 2 Pokemon. We're sitting in a nice position now. We got the weather. We've won the weather war. So I mean, like, now we just need to make sure that we get a Trick Room up, get Groudon in, and start just throwing out some blades. And we should be able to wrap this one up. Hopefully, if my opponent starts moving a bit quickly. 29. CFS. Come on, you've got 1 selection. All you need to do is click that button. It takes like 2 seconds. There we go. There's the Salazzle coming out. Okay. Now this does make things a little more awkward for us because the Salazzle does obviously benefit from the sun, so its fire type attacks are going to be doing a lot more damage to things like to Groudon and Incineroar and Bronzong, more importantly. I think what I'll do is bring in Xerneas, sack Xerneas. I'm going to protect Groudon. Because we might not need the Trick Room. The Trick Room would be super helpful here. But we are running Heat Proof Bronzong. But I want to bring it in fresh. I don't want to take in any damage. I want to make sure that if we're going to get the Trick Room up, then we are able to get it up. So we'll just protect Groudon. There's a Sludge Bomb. It's into Groudon, actually. Hopefully the Water Spout is enough to actually take down Xerneas from this range. I'm kind of hoping it is, because we want that free switch in. Oh, it's not. Okay. Okay. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, we can kind of work around this, I guess. The one thing we don't want to do is lose Groudon at this point. So I'm just going to switch in Incineroar. And go for a Moonblast onto the Kyogre. Salazzle probably Sludge Bombs the Xerneas. Like, we could have protected Xerneas there, got Incineroar in, potentially, but nah, yeah. If we'd done that, we just lose a turn. We know we're going to, well, maybe not take this Water Spout, single target now. Yeah, so it takes us down, but we get a free switch in to Bronzong and Groudon. And Bronzong, I'm hoping Bronzong can take a Fire Blast. In the sun. It's gonna be close. With my opponent, the Salazzle actually goes for the Groudon here. Like, that's what I think I would do. I think I'd attack into the Groudon with Salazzle because a Fire Blast could potentially knock us out. Like, we're not resisting that attack. It's boosted by the sun. It's tricky. It's tricky. I'm gonna go for the Protect with Groudon. Just in case, because we need Groudon, we need the Trick Room set up. I'm hoping Heat Proof's enough for Bronzong to actually just survive the Fire Blast in the sun. It should be. It should be. I'm hoping it is. So let's see. What's my opponent doing? The problem is, like, we've not got too many turns of sun left either, so if we don't get the Trick Room up, we could lose this game. There's a Fire Blast. Oh, Bronzong avoids! Like a ninja! Okay, we'll run the calc after this just to see, but I'm kind of sure that we take it. We get the Trick Room up and now the game's ours. So we just Gravity and Precipice. I don't know if the Precipice is going to be enough to take down the Kyogre, but even if the sun goes down now, like, the Water Spout will just be so weak. It's not going to be threatening us at all. So okay, so we take down the Salazzle. It's not sashed. That's fine. Kyogre on minimum amount of health. Water Spout coming out again. and the sun does fade. But like at this point, we're able to kind of clean up. So not as straightforward as I would have liked it to have been, but I mean we get the win in the end. So I mean that's the main thing, isn't it? You know, the win. So the roll on Lunala was pretty interesting. So let's just pull my Bronzong up. I need to have a quick look at what spread I've actually got on the Bronzong. Let's have a quick look here. Look-see look. And then we can do that calc. Because I'm presuming it's just literally a timid max Salazzle, Bronzong 244 188 sassy heat proof nature. So I'll just pop this in and then we'll click through and hopefully we find another opponent in the meantime. Salazzle, and it was using Fire Blast, wasn't it? Fire Blast in the sun. Nah, we take that like all day long, like 52 to 62%, so the miss didn't even matter there. So I mean, like that is why we run Heatproof. So I'm just not like that familiar with my Heatproof calcs, so but now I know, and so do you, so that's all good. Right, we'll jump into our next one. We're obviously quite low ladder at the minute, so it's going to take us a little bit of time to ladder up, but hopefully not too much time, so we'll keep winning. And we've got Tokol, so as our next opponent, running a team of Dustman and Crozma, Groudon, Incineroar, Zapdos, Tapu Fini, and Ludicolo. So probably looking at a Tailwind / Trick Room team here. The Crozma's probably got Trick Room. Zapdos is going to be the Tailwind set. Probably looking at something like Tapu Fini with Swagger, I'd imagine, and then you've got the double fake out in Incineroar and Ludicolo. Probably with Dustman the Crozma, if it is Trick Room, it's definitely going to be slower than our Groudon. But maybe because my opponent's got that dual kind of speed control option there, they might go a little bit faster with Dustman, so we might be slow without Groudon. Now I'm totally up for going for Trick Room here, so I'm going to lead Bronzong, Incineroar. I'm going to go Groudon again, and what do we do for the last one? I mean, I'm kind of tempted just to throw Xerneas in again, because it's like, it's always the case, like if I'm not going to go down that route, it's always like a nice option where I feel like I can just use it to kind of like maneuver my board position around. But if the like opportunity arises and you can get a Geomancy off, like we saw in the last game, if Lunala didn't have roll, then Xerneas there would have just ripped through my opponent's team. So it's kind of one of those Pokemon that you just want to bring to most matches anyway, or at least I feel like you do. You see my opponent lead off with the Incineroar and the Groudon. Now we need to check like our speeds with Incineroar. So it looks like we're the faster Incineroar, which is super nice. We do get the Intimidate. We're faster than Groudon as well, so that's min speed Groudon for sure. Huh. I don't know if I want to be what do I want to do? Do I want to just fake like bring in Groudon? My own Groudon, or do I want to actually try and get Trick Room up? Because if I can get Trick Room up, then Gravity up, and then I can start Hypnos and things, it's just whether or not I can... what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Let's just go for it. Let's go for it and see. And I'm gonna go for a fake out into Poison Incineroar because a knockoff's more threatening to us right now. I don't know if my opponent goes Precipice Blades. Ooh, Eruption. Okay. Ha. Do not see that every day. I don't mind that at all. Like Special Groudon. I don't think Special Groudon's anywhere near as good as what it was in 16. But I could be wrong as well. I haven't really played with it too much. But do I go for the sneak? I go for Gravity. I definitely go for Gravity. And I think I go Knockoff into the opposing Groudon. Groudon withdraws, so that's fine. We're going to see Tapu Fini come in, which you don't mind. Probably going to see knockoff from the opposing Incineroar, which will take Bronzong down. I'd imagine even intimidated from this range. But I mean, it gives us, if it does, it gives us a free switch into. Oh, we actually survive. Okay, that's good. But I mean, we kind of at this point want. We want Bronzong gone. We want it gone because we can't Hypnosis with the Misty Terrain up. So I'm just gonna knock off the Incineroar, Gyro Ball, the Finny. Hope my opponent takes down the Bronzong and gives us that free switch into to our Groudon. Get the Gyro Ball, do minimal amount of damage. Flare Blitz coming out into Bronzong. Yeah, that's fine. What's the Finny gonna go for? Maybe Swagger. We're gonna see some Swagger stuff going on. We'll get the knockoff at least into the Incineroar, get rid of its item, which is always a plus. Revealing Figgy, and then a Hydro Pump in the sun. Always the play. So, okay. I think we're alright now. We've got the Intimidate users out on my opponent's side of the field. We've got Groudon in. We could even be really greedy and go for a Swords Dance here, but how many turns of Trick Room we got left? Got 2. Okay, so we probably don't want to go too deep with this. I think what I'll do as well, I'm going to switch in Xerneas for Incineroar now. Because this last turn of Trick Room, what I'll try and do is try and get Geomancy up. So when the Trick Room ends, we Geomancy. As long as we don't get knocked off into this slot now, which would be terrible for us. We're going to see Flare Blitz from the Incineroar. It's going to be into Groudon, which is fine. Take that. No risk of burn because of the Misty Terrain as well. And yeah, we're going to be able to get the Incineroar, which is always nice. Do a good chunk to the Finny as well. It's got a Berry now. And another Hydro Pump does connect into Groudon. Oh, I think we're just above Berry range as well, which is so annoying. Okay, so that's fine. Like, we get Xerneas in. And you've got to imagine that the Necrozma is the last Pokemon, one in the back. That's what I would expect, 100%. Now what I could do potentially is just protect Xerneas and then I get a free switch in to Incineroar where we could fake out and then Geomancy. Or I could just Geomancy here. Like I feel like we are bulky enough to Geomancy and we're going to Geomancy after the Finny, so if it does have Haze then like we'll avoid that. So there's a Precipice Blades. It's going to take down our Groudon, which is a bit of a shame because like the annoying thing there is that oh, an Icy Wind, okay. Like if I buried probably take that. But it's just how the rolls go, isn't it? So that's just how it's turned out. We do get the Geomancy, so maybe like Xerneas is going to be our last hope as well. And how nice is the new timer as well, guys? Like the new timer, 7 minutes. I think that's like spot on. At least I think it's 7 minutes. I heard it was 7 minutes. Haven't really been paying attention to the clock. But if it's 7 minutes, that's great. If it's not, then I mean, what are you gonna do? But we've got more time. That's the main thing. So we get Incineroar in. We're gonna get an Intimidate off into this Groudon, which is always nice. I think we probably just fake out the Finny and just Moonblast the Groudon slot. Because if the Necrozma comes in there, we do a huge chunk of damage to it. There's no switches. Okay, so the Finny, yeah, this Moonblast should take the Groudon down. Bye bye, Groudon. You've got to love Groudon's design though as well. Like Groudon's design is like so, like I just love it. It's like one of my favorite restricted Pokemon, like design wise. So nice. So Finny is definitely in Dazzle range. Necrozma coming in. Look at that. Look at it. We'll go for a knockoff into it and a Dazzle. We still got a Berry with Incineroar as well, so we've kind of got that going for us. So potentially Incineroar could win this game for us. Ally switch! Oh, losing friends on day 1. So it's not really going to make too much difference, and the Necrozma just kind of like wasting its time there. I don't know why, like the ally switch there doesn't really make much sense when Dazzling Gleam's an option with Xerneas and you're just losing. Like a Moonblast now takes him down. So like I do not agree with that play at all. And that just like seals the deal for us. So we're going to finish this episode, guys, with a 2-0 victory, and the team doing alright. We've shown off a few of its little how it's meant to work, at least up to now. So Moonblast, and very good game to my opponent Tokol, and we'll wrap things up there. So we've seen, like I say, we've seen a few elements of the team. We've seen the Trick Room mod with Bronzong. We've seen how good the heat proof is. We've got Xerneas going as well. So the one thing we're missing is that Smeargle. So hopefully we can bring their little sketch artist on our next episode. But we'll wrap things up there, guys. It's great to be back. I hope you are all well. I will just say as well, I met a bunch of you guys at Worlds, Flinch Squatters and other people, and it was absolutely my pleasure meeting each and every one of you at Worlds. It was absolutely phenomenal. It really made my trip like just that extra bit special. It was just amazing. So I had a great time at Worlds and hanging out and meeting everyone that I did out there. So big shout outs to every one of you guys that I did see out there. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys. Let me know in the description below. Let me know how you're feeling about the new format and everything like that. And keep an eye out for the guides, because the guides will be coming out regularly, as much as I can, and just like depending on my time restrictions and things. And like I mentioned at the start of the video, or near the start of the video, I won't be doing any streams because I've got a PC ordered. It's on its way. It's being built right now. It's like this badass machine that's going to make the streams and the videos and everything else so much better than what they are at the minute. And I wanted to do that investment to make the channel a lot better and a lot more enjoyable for you guys. So bear with me. It will be arriving when it arrives, but we won't be doing streams for the next couple of weeks at least, I would imagine. But I will keep you up to date, and if it comes before then, miraculously, just keep an eye on Twitter, follow me on there. So Cyrus VGC, and I will tweet out as soon as our first streams are going up. So till then, guys, until next episode, I will see you later. Thanks so much for tuning in and all that, and I will see you all for the next episode. So until then, take care and bye bye.